that somewhere in Pray Herald, there existed the blackest classroom in the whole university. I heard that one should only enroll if he planned to be on time every day and could sit a whole class without touching his phone.
What do you do when your reputation precedes you? You enter slowly, 3 to 10 minutes late, coffee in hand, and explain to us how, and introduce Sheikh to Giop's work. Then, explain to us how Du Bois just ain't really like that Washington motherfucker, mixing and mastering Ebonics into our higher education.
What do you call an MC that turns a classroom into a cipher, presents coded facts into ciphers, turns textbooks into tables, turns lyrics into chapter form, and explains that hip-hop is nothing without a table of content?
He turned on Last Poets and told us to take a listen, as he resurrected hip-hop from its underground roots, taught us that hip-hop grew from poetry. The best MCs create verses from refurbished sestinas, rearrange couplets, and rewrite rhymes on repeat.
What's a teacher, tectonic technician turned teacher turned historian turned Black Panther? What's a superhero to a panther, to a black man, to a heroic historian?
We all have that one teacher that inspires us with sugary sweet words and waits until after the last bell to expel their quiet critiques, and even provides whole written study guides and email reminders. And then
there's Mel. We call you Mel, short for melodic. You put the rhythm in blues, inherited jazz musician limbs, and slide across the classroom. The way trombones change key, your walk is a symphony.
Call you Vanguard. Call our existence resistance.
Call you hilarious. You'll call out a student in the middle of class for failing, then explain in that same sentence how that same student can succeed.
Call you the DJ cutting breaks between Biggie and Beyonce disses. Call us out for laughing. How dare we have the audacity, as if our old first semester sew-ins wasn't some kin to her head full of somebody else's hair. Call it tough love.
Doc, you say rappers nowadays have lost the ability to highlight bold statements. Weak words are written by whites in a Microsoft office. We call you Doc, short for document, short for doctor, if you're a doctor. And student ignorance is a disease it takes time to cure, then wasn't every exam you testing your patience?
We call you Mel. Some may call it improper, disrespectful, too familiar for the doctor. I'd say it's familiar.
We talked about history like family, but it was all relative.
We became related when you passed down revolution through hugs and handshakes.
When you are the only radical in a classroom full of students too stuck in their books to put their boots on. Every class feels like you're preparing for battle while your classmates are prepping for an exam.
We call you Moses, the conductor of our undergrad railroad. You rescued us from that indoctrination when we stood at intersections between death and the freedom side.
We huddled around your email responses like God himself had written new commandments in stone. From the book of Uncle Tom, verse 6. Chapter 6, verse 1. Thou shalt not lead an organization when thou hast not been ordained as a leader. You screamed through pages, spoke volumes without having ever have turned the chapter, and prayed by the last book they would be inspired by revelations.
You gassed up a car full of students to go fight on front lines in Ferguson. Taught us that niggas are scared of revolution. Taught us that revolution ain't as scary as captivity. You captivated an entire campus.
If you're a doctor, then every class was an operation, a surgical reminder of the damage we do to ourselves when we don't know our own history. This was malpractice.
Call you magician for your ability to morph a listening party into a sit-in. 3 a.m. at Ipsy PD brought 3 young wizards summoned by a pig patronus to practice what we'd learned during defense against the dark arts.
Shit-talking shapeshifter taking the form of grandfather, of teacher. You mad scientist, science fiction sorcerer. You real-life example of a mentor who gave you permission to actually give a damn about your students. Do you know how rare that is these days?
We call you host because we are welcome here. Yours is the first classroom I entered where black students weren't huddled uncomfortably in the 3rd quadrant of the room. Call you mathematician, call you astronomer for your ability to find and name new stars in this broken solar system.
We are gathered here today in this classroom of a collective to pay homage to a legend. This is no celebration. It's a class project we've been planning for generations, Doc. You've been grade A for half a century. Now sit back and collect your extra credit. Call us professors for a day.
Call us part-time lecturers who are doing their best to pay homage to those that came before us. Call us grateful.
What we are trying to say is thank you.
Because of you, we learned that niggas are scared of revolution.
But because of you, we ain't.